All content is publicly sourced and used under the USA Fair Use and UK Fair Dealing Guidelines. The things I say are strictly my opinion. Good evening, everyone. It's the Bizzy Bee with the Royal Tea. Hope you've all had a great Wednesday, 23rd of September. This is a mausoleum in Spain where the Spanish royals are buried. Philip II, the husband of Queen Mary I, aka Bloody Mary, is buried there. I have a lot I want to share with you today. I have something that is so rich, Smegs would try to seduce it and take it to bed. But actually I have two things I want to share with you. One of them is really good, though. The first one that is really rich, it's really good. The thing is, someone reported that they were hearing voices at the Harkle wedding, and no, it wasn't Harry Harkle. It was someone else, but this person is pushing a book, so might not come as a surprise that they're reporting strange things. But first of all, I just want to give everyone an update. Yesterday in my video, I mentioned the notorious Mrs. Jones and her attitude and how she got hung up on by me. Well, guess what she did today? She called from a different number today because she caught on to the fact that I knew her phone number and I wouldn't answer. So she called from a different number and I answered it. When I did, she started screaming the F word and money and F word money and this and that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It just over and over and over. And I said, Mrs. Jones, I'm disconnecting the call. Click. Oh my goodness, this lady, she just doesn't get it, does she? Wow, some people today. So let's get into it. Thank you again to patrons Kim and Christine D. For today's History Minute, I do have the aforementioned Philip II of Spain. I put there that he was Mary's consort, but actually his title, his specific title was co-monarch. A few facts about Philip. His tenure as co-monarch, the 25th of July, 1554 to the 17th of November, 1558. Mary made it high treason to deny his authority in England because the English didn't want a Spanish king. They never had, besides 9-day Lady Jane Grey, they never had a woman monarch rule by herself. They were afraid if she married somebody from Spain that it was going to be like Spain ruling England. So they weren't too happy about this. So, Mary wanted him to be accepted, and Mary being Mary, she of course forced it. Okay, Philip loved his wife so much that before her dead body was cold, he was putting the moves on her sister Elizabeth. Now, that's what you call true love. Your wife passes away, and then the very next day when you're on the way to the funeral home to make the funeral arrangements, you're putting the move on your sister-in-law. Now that's true love. All right. Because of Philip's frivolous spending, Spain had to file for bankruptcy 5 times between 1557 and 1596. He spends about like Smegs, wouldn't you say? He died the 13th of September, 1598, aged 71. Wanted to mention one thing. Last night I was watching some real royalty videos on YouTube, and I came across this one, the one with George VI here, and it had a recipe in it of the mini mutton meat pies that he ate for Royal Ascot. I left a comment on the video, where can I find the recipes for these dishes? None of the videos that Real Royalty posts include the recipes for the dishes they prepare, and I find that greatly annoying, as I would love to make some of them myself. If you watch these videos, they prepare these royal foods, they don't ever tell you the amount of ingredients they're putting in. They tell you the ingredients they're putting in, but not the amounts. And in the description of the videos, they don't have the amounts. It's crazy, and I couldn't find it anywhere online. You just have to look for comparable recipes, I suppose. But I don't want a comparable recipe. I want the one that they made in the video. Hello? For today's episode of As the Stomach Turns, of course, I have what I mentioned earlier, someone hearing voices at the Harkle wedding. And no, it was not Mr. Harkle hearing voices telling him to stay away from Smegs are just the typical voices that Half-Wit Harry usually hears, but it was actually, yeah, the minister, Bishop Michael Curry. He says that he was hearing voices at the wedding. Well, you know what I have to say about that? I have to say about that, Harry and Meghan have a mental health app they're coming out with, supposedly, so they're the perfect ones to turn to about hearing voices, I suppose. So let's find out what the voices were saying to Bishop Curry at the Harkle nuptials. Bishop Michael Curry says he heard voices of slaves at Meghan and Harry's wedding. Well, sir, if you hear dead people talking to you, you either need to go apply for a role in The Sixth Sense Part 2, or you need to go see a well-trained mental health physician. Bishop Curry opens up about what it was like to be a descendant of slaves presenting a sermon at the royal wedding. I really care about his opinion, so I'm going to read this to you. Bishop Curry, who delivered a soaring sermon at the 2018 wedding of the Harkles, is opening up about his memories of that day. He saw the cat eat the canary is exactly what he saw that day. In a wide-ranging interview with People, Bishop Curry discusses his new book, Love is the Way. Love is the way, but only if Meghan agrees. If it's not, then it's not the way. He describes what it was like to be a descendant of slaves and present a sermon in front of Queen Elizabeth. After I preached the sermon, I just remember it was like I could feel slaves around the place, Bishop Curry, 67, says. I don't think I said that with enough emotion. After I preached the sermon, I just remember it was like I could feel slaves around the place. I don't mean to be spooky, but it was like their voice was somehow heard that day. I included one of their songs, There Is a Balm in Gilead. Is that good enough? Okay. He goes on. Let me continue. It was like their voice, one of their songs, one of their descendants was there that day. The Queen was most gracious. The fact that all happened for me, it's a sign of hope. It's a sign of hope that one who descends from people who were captured in the slave trade, probably the British slave trade, is brought from the shores of West Africa to the shores of America, that one of their descendants was in the presence of the Queen of England, and he quoted one of their songs. That's hope that we don't have to be the way we've always been. All right. Thank you. It was with this emotion that Bishop Curry presented his sermon, The Power of Love, to the royal family and billions of viewers 2 years ago. Billions of viewers? I don't remember hearing it was billions of viewers. I remember hearing it was like 200 or 300 million, but billions? That's quite a stretch. Hey, the rest of this goes on just to talk about his book that he's got coming out. You can see the bottom of it here. Bishop Michael Curry, his book. Yeah. If you want to read the rest of this, you can pause the video. Okay. I just wanted to note one interesting thing that I saw here, though. While Bishop Curry isn't currently in touch with the couple, he says he continues to pray for them. So they don't have anything to do with this guy anymore. They used him for the wedding, and then they markled him. Okay, but they certainly need his prayers, though. I'll definitely say that for them. And this is more hoopla about his book, of course. If you want to contribute to his retirement fund, of course you can go on Amazon and pre-order it, but I'm certainly not going to. And the second thing I wanted to mention to you all, the Harkles can't help themselves, can they? They're meddling in U.S. politics again. I believe it was just Meghan before doing this, and now it's both of them actually doing it. From what I understand, they were on TV this morning. I've been working all day. I haven't had a chance to see if it was on YouTube, but from what I understand, they were on TV this morning, and they were talking about the U.S. election. Why don't they just butt out? Who do they think cares about their opinion anyway? I certainly don't, and they're not endorsing a candidate, but you would have to be dumb as a box of rocks, as a bag of bricks, not to know who she's voting for. In the past, she's made her opinion widely known about the current president. Now she's not going to say who she's voting for. We know who you're voting for, Smegs. We're not stupid. And Harry Harkle, why are you saying anything about the U.S. election? You can't even vote here. You're not a U.S. citizen, no green card, no basic right to be here. You're probably here illegally, right? Or some kind of travel visa, something that'll probably be out soon. Oh, these two. Who cares what they think about the election? I'm not going to go vote or not vote just because they tell me to. Get out of here. Let's take a look. The Harkles received severe backlash, as well they should, after they urged U.S. citizens to vote in the upcoming elections. The Nothing of Nowhere and his wife, who announced they're stepping back as, there's that word senior again, royals, moved to the U.S. and are living in a $14 million mansion in Santa Barbara, California, urged American citizens to exercise their right to vote in their first primetime TV appearance on ABC on Tuesday. Prince Harry told voters to reject the hate speech, misinformation, and online negativity, while his wife Meghan dubbed the presidential elections the most important polls of their lifetime, but the royal couple did not endorse any of the candidates. Reject the hate speech, misinformation, and online negativity. Because if you follow what the Harkles say, then if anybody says anything bad about you, just get your lawyer to sue them. That's their advice. However, they sparked severe criticism, as the members of the British royal family are expected to be strictly apolitical according to British tradition. Shortly after their 2-minute-long video, social media users criticized the Harkles for interfering in U.S. politics. A social media user said, "Why a UK prince and his wife getting involved in a U.S. election? What business is it of his?" On the other hand, several royal fans, aka Sugars, have defended that woman and her husband and praised them for reminding Americans to vote in the November election. Well, one of those royal fans certainly wasn't this royal fan. I don't have any praise for the Harkles. The only praise I would have for the Harkles is if they said they were going to Timbuktu, they were giving up all their worldly possessions, and they would never have their name out in the public again. Then I would give them a round of applause and give them a little bit of praise. A few comments from the last video about their speaking fees dropping quicker than Meghan's bikini bottoms on a yacht. Over 75%, to be exact. Harry sounds like he has marbles in his mouth when he's doing those Zoom videos. It would be painful to listen to an entire speech. And migraine, nuff said. They seriously would have to pay me. Ms. Jones can't afford her account because nobody has money because of everything that's going on. We're all in the poorhouse. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, Mrs. Jones, as I said here, is a prison guard who is currently drawing workers' comp for distress because her coworker accidentally locked her in an empty cell for a few minutes. She claims this could have resulted in her death. She told me this during our call yesterday, trying to get me to feel sorry for her. And she spoke to one of my coworkers also a few days ago, and she told that coworker that she was out of work right now because she had to have a female-related surgery. So it's either you're drawing workers' comp because you had a workplace distress injury, or you had to have a female surgery. Get it straight here. Love your videos. Love the History Minute and the puppies. Very informative and up to date. You were the first person I heard drop the information on our little friend's yachting experience. Very brave, I thought at that time. Thanks for your bravery and informative videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate your compliment. I thought everyone knew about Smegs's history on the yacht. Their wardrobe, her dress worth $99,000, and him in a scruffy gray polo shirt. Okay, let's break this down. Let's say Daddy Charles gave them $100,000 wardrobe allowance. So, as the typical selfish pimp that Smegs is, she keeps 99% and gives Harry 1%. He's got just enough to buy a pair of khakis, a gray Ralph Lauren polo shirt, and the pair of sneakers that he always wears, and the dingy baseball cap that he wears as well. Sounds about right. I'll give her $20 for a lap dance. Don't need Harry for anything, unless he's good at cleaning. Mary the First resembles Greta Thunberg. Yes, she actually does, now that you mention that. I've never thought about that, yes. But Mary the First, she looks like she's always in a good mood, doesn't she? Megan should just go back to work on a yacht boat as a yacht girl, if anyone will have her for that job now. No, she's too old for that. Dear Bizzy Bee, does your name come from the film Best in Show? Actually, no. As you can see here what I responded. My partner said I am in the Harkles' business, hence the name Bizzy, and my first name begins with the letter B. She's probably making a list of handsome Hollywood men she wants to work with. Do you mean, when you say work with, do you mean work it with? Or do you mean act with? Because I'm sure there's a list of men in Hollywood who have her on the list of people to avoid. Hi, Bizzy. Yes, nobody wants them. What interesting things could they possibly say? They have nothing interesting to say. Do you hear me? No, they have nothing interesting to say. Like I said before, the only thing they could say that would interest me is that they're packing it up and moving to a third world country and never want to be heard from again. Esther Love said, "You are an idiot. Are you English?" Esther, if you watched my video, you can't tell by the sound of my voice that I'm not English. Honey, I'm from the backwoods of Georgia. I live in Virginia, outside of Washington, D.C. now, but I was born and raised in the backwoods of Georgia. No, I'm not English. Thank you, Esther. What have we learned today? Number 1, if Bishop Curry is, in fact, hearing voices, he is in good hands because the Harkles are mental health experts. Number 2, the Harkle-branded noise counseling headphones can help drown out the voices in one's head. Number 3, there is a balm in Gilead to treat what Smegs is passing around. Number 4, even Smegs's pastor merches as he is using his connection to the Harkles to sell books. Number 5, H sounds as if he has marbles in his mouth, while Smega actually has balls in her mouth. Number 6, apparently Smegasaurus's yachting days were not well known. I thought everyone knew she has had more passengers sail her seas than Carnival Cruise Lines. Number 7, for $20, Smega will give you a lap dance, a cold sore, and a happy ending. Number 8, Smegs can't go back to the yacht now. No one wants an escort that's a dried-up old crow. Number 9, Mrs. Markle is making a list of Hollywood men she can pass her viral load onto, aka take to bed in hopes of a good role. If you would like to send, treats to the aforementioned dogs, there's the P.O. Box. There's their pictures. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. hit the notification button. I will see you all in the next one. I truly appreciate you watching. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.